Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, bring you guys awesome interviews. And today it is an honor and privilege to have the guitarist of Jag Panzer on the show with me today, Mr. Mark Briody. I know I probably said it wrong again, but but they got
that's very close enough.
Briody, Mark Briody. There we go.
Got it.
Take that. They got a new album that's entitled the Deviant Chord. That's on Steam, Hammer, and SPV. That's going to be released on September 29th. And we're going to be talking to him about their new album. And almost, this band almost just quit. So we're going to get right into this. So, Mark, how's it going?
It's going good. Just, nice day here in Colorado. Just kicking back in the foothills of the mountains, doing press all day.
Man, I can't believe you guys haven't had snow yet. Or even you guys might have, but I just haven't been keeping up.
We usually get it right around Halloween. I mean, it's usually within a week before or after Halloween. We get a little bit of dusting, and then it usually hits hard around Thanksgiving.
Oh, it sucks. What's impressed you the most, Mark, about making the new album, The Deviant Chord? What's caught your eye about it, if anything?
I think, the involvement in my bandmates was really, really cool. I mean, we've been doing this forever, and always worried that people are going to get jaded and sort of just to go through a pay-by-numbers thing. But, man, that was the exact opposite. And everybody was absolutely 100% committed every day. Everybody was working on the song, lots of ideas flying around. Yeah, it was great. I mean, everybody was really, really into it. Every song got everybody's full attention. Could not have been more pleased with the teamwork.
I want to jump right in and ask this question, too. Now, this band almost was just done. Adding these new members, what have they brought to Jag Panzer for this band?
Well, we got one new guy, but he's actually an old guy. He was on our first album. We were sort of out of touch for a while, and he came back, and yeah, that's Joey on guitar. He's got a good sense of melody, and he's a world class lead player. We always have good lead players, but he brings that and a really good sense of melody to the table. He added a lot of layers to the song, so I really like what he did to every song.
Who produced this album? Did you guys do it, or who actually produced it?
It was produced by John Herrera. He's a producer down in Phoenix. He had recorded the drums for our album 6 years earlier, so we got to know him a little bit, and I liked working with him, and so we thought we'd give him a chance to get behind the console for this record.
Working with John, does he normally just let you guys do your own thing, and then finally he just steps in, or how's working with him?
Yeah, pretty much everybody lets us do our own thing. I mean, we did our first record. We started recording demos. Three of us in the band have known each other since we were 6 years old, and we were doing demos when I was 15, and we were our first record out even. I had just turned 18, so we've been doing this a long time. So producers tend to sort of let us do our own thing, and they just kind of step in at the end and just mix it all.
Are there any songs off this new album that stand out more to you than any on it as of right now, Mark? If you could pick one at all, possibly.
Oh man, that would change every week. It's funny, by the time a record's ready to come out, it comes out in 2 weeks. It's old hat to me.
Yeah.
I've heard it. I've finished writing it like 9 months ago, and it's been like 5 months since we finished recording it. I guess Fire the Spirit is probably my favorite track at the moment, and that's going to be out on lyric video here pretty quick. I think next week.
Do you guys do anything differently during the writing and recording process to, keep your minds open and fresh and to not let the music get stale sometimes?
Yeah, this time we decided to do a bunch of demos. I demoed every song myself first, and I pretty much suck at the drums and I suck at the bass and I can't sing, but I give it a try. So I try it and I do a demo, and it's good enough to get the other guys an idea of what's going on. So I do a demo, and then our singer came in and he started changing some things around, and we talk about different ideas, and then him and I would do a demo, and it would be quite a bit better than the first set. And then the other guys would start chiming in with ideas, and some of them would come down in the studio and we'd do another demo. So some of these songs we demoed like 5 or 6 times, just complete full-on demos. before we're ready to go. We had never done that before, so I gave this record a little different sound.
Now, I know you said you've been around for a while doing this and everything, which you guys have. Now, is this something that you guys may do from here on out, demoing these songs like this?
No, I would like to, but we like to make everything a band decision that everybody's into doing, and I would definitely like to do it, but I haven't talked to my bandmates about that. I don't even know if they like the demoing or not. Everybody's happy with the album, but for all I know, they may have hated doing demos. I just don't know.
How much growth musically have you seen yourself and the band go through up to the release of this new album, or has it just been more of a personal growth?
I see a lot of growth in my in my bandmates as knowing when not to play too much, and you grow up, and we weren't that good when our instruments when we did our first record, but by the time we did our first record was an EP. By the time we did our first full length album, we kind of knew how to play our instruments, and you go through a time period where you just want to just play all out all the time.
Yeah.
But there's a time and place for that. You got to make the song as good as it can be. So I think, as I mature as a musician and my bandmates, I think people's focus tends to become, how do I make the song better instead of, how do I make my own part better?
What do you hope the fans take away from the new album once they start to listen to it, or just Jag Panzer music in general?
I hope they love enough to listen to it 5 or 6 times. We put a lot in there musically that's not going to jump out at you on the first listen. So what I'm hoping is people are going to like it enough initially to want to play it, 5 or 6 times and let those details come out, because I think that's when you can really appreciate these songs. It's like with Rush. Our music is nothing like Rush, and we don't sound anything like Rush. But
right.
I get something more out of a Rush album every time I listen to it, and it's great. I mean, that's why they're one of my favorite bands. So, I hope people will give our music multiple listens.
What can fans expect at a show from the mighty Jag Panzer when they come to see you guys live?
Well, we go all out, even for really old dudes like us. We're give it all up there. We're not going to kick back, and I don't care if 10 people in an audience or 10,000. I mean, you're going to get 100% every time.
Since this is the digital era, Mark, do you like this era that we're in of, recording albums, social media, and getting stuff out quicker? Do you like this that we're in right now? Well,
I see pluses and minuses of both ways. I like the way recordings used to sound. You had this big reel-to-reel analog tape machines, and I like that from the 80s. I love recording that way, and I love the sound, but you can't do that anymore. It's just not cost-effective. But what digital gives me is I have a nice studio in my house that we've done the past 6 albums here, so it gives me the ability to do an album, cost effectively, modern recording technology. And, and same with social media. I can get songs out quickly. We can get reviews quickly out. People hear about the album quickly. So, pluses and minuses.
Here's a question that I'd like to ask these old school bands like this, because, you guys hit the road when you guys were young and got, a lot of years under your belt, but, and you've seen things change through the music industry. But since it's, we're talking about the digital era, would you possibly do a live show, like a live feed maybe?
I'd like to do it. It's tough to do. It's tough to do because, you have these dedicated companies that will bring a mobile truck and they'll film your show and they'll broadcast it live and they'll record you. And that's really, really expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But we always have people that offer to do it. Hey, we'll do it for you, or we'll do this. But, if somebody's offering to do something and you're not paying them, of course I appreciate it, but most times it doesn't happen.
Right.
A lot of times we've had people say, hey, we're going to stream your show live. And I'm like, great. And then the show comes and, the guy will say, my dog got sick or something. I couldn't do it, and so it's just tough to get the logistics down to make that work.
Support-wise, is there a country or region that stands out more or surprises you that you guys get support from that area?
We get fantastic support in Greece, and I don't know how that happened. I mean, I really, really don't. Back in the early days, I would get, there's no email, no internet back then, so everything was, you get letters in the mail, and I get some letters from Greece, but no more than any other country. But and our past few records, I mean, Greece has just been great to us. I mean, the show turnout's been great. Fan response is great, and it's just a cool country in general just to go there. But to go there as a musician and get that kind of response that we get there is fantastic.
Oh yeah, and overseas, man, when you guys play a show or any band plays a show or a big festival, that's a big holiday to those folks. I mean, everything shuts down just about. Yeah,
it's different over there. Over there you see people from 8 to 80 listening to heavy metal.
Yes, sir.
Not so much in the States. Over there, it's just the normal music style that people of all ages listen to. And it's rare over here to see a senior citizen up headbanging in the front row, but it is not rare in Europe.
What does Jag Panzer bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now, Mark?
I think we're a good mix of heaviness and melody and riffing. There's lots of great bands that push it more in one area than the other, but like if you just like riffs and don't care about leads or anything, Rammstein, there's the band for you. You can just get riffs all the time.
Oh yeah.
But then if you like lead guitar playing, you can listen to Yngwie, but you're not going to get a lot of heavy riffs, so it's a lot of bands are, more of this and more of that. And so we try to strike a balance, with everything. And, it really has to be a balancing act. So I think that's what we bring to the table. And that's what bands, when I was a kid growing up listening to metal, that's what all the bands did. I mean, I'd listen to UFO and Rainbow, and, they all brought cool riffs and cool lead playing and great vocals. And
yeah, but here's the cool part about Jag Panzer. You're one of these old school groups that still believe in the guitar solos.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a crucial part of heavy metal. It was to me growing up.
Oh, you're damn right. Yeah. It still is to me, too. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to hear an album that goes 95,000 miles an hour and you may have just a 30-second guitar solo. Done. No. No.
Yeah, and I grew up, I wanted lead guitar players to blow me away. I just wanted to be floored by their playing and their tone and their attitude. And it's sort of weird for me to hear metal bands that don't do that. Either don't do leads or have real sort of generic sounding leads.
Now, don't get me wrong, I love my punk rock music, but I'm still that old school guy who likes his metal music. I have to have that guitar solo because after a while it just is like, damn, this ain't worth it. But that's me.
Yeah, and I like the idea of the solo. It's a time where a guy can just cut loose and just show off. Just for a short period there. I think it's cool.
Now, I know you guys have played a lot of shows, but is there any show or moment that stands out more than any to you that you can recall of, man? Possibly. Oh man, we played lots of really cool shows in lots of cool places. One of the most memorable to me, we played the Wacken Festival over in Germany. It's a huge festival. And when we played it, the fog was rolling in. So from standing on stage, it was people as far as I could see disappearing into the fog, singing our song. So it looked like a movie set. It was really, really cool. Were you taken back, though, when the fans started singing your songs? I mean, because you guys could just strike a chord and go into a song, and you don't have to do nothing, man. You don't even have to sing. They'll sing it for you. Yeah, that's a good feeling when our singer can just put the mic out to the audience on chorus, and they'll sing the whole thing. It's pretty cool because the memory always comes back to my mind just for a split second of writing that song. I'm sitting on my couch and us, like, working on that same chorus with Terry, our singer, and I, just him like talking through it. That memory always comes back when you hear this big crowd singing that same chorus. Oh yeah. And folks, if you do not know what me and Mark is talking about, it's a thing called YouTube. If you go look and search Wacken Festivals, you will see what we are talking about. It's a cool show. Oh, okay. Yes, sir, it is. I would love to experience that one time in my life. What made you want to become a musician, Mark? What was that spark for you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do right there?
Oh, just trying to get girls. I mean, that was absolutely, really, that's the honest truth. I could give you something, I had, I had this musical growth inside of me and I had this yearning for music. No, it was just completely, I had zero game of my own. And I thought if I picked up a guitar, that might help.
Yeah, that's why I do this radio show. I do it on a radio show. Still batting zero. I'm still batting zero. I might need to step up my game. I don't know. So if you could work with any musician that has passed away or alive today or any band that you want to bring back just for a couple days, who would it be, if anybody?
Oh, I'll give you two answers there. If I could bring someone back to work with, I think it'd absolutely be Dio. Yeah, I just think he's just a voice of metal. Always been a huge Dio fan. Ran into him a few times. He's always the most gracious person, just a very, very cool guy and super talented. Dio, Randy Rhoads would be another choice of bringing a musician back. If I could work with somebody alive today, man, I'd like to work with JB, the singer for Grand Magus. If your listeners don't know who Grand Magus is, they're not the biggest band. They are so killer. Go to YouTube, type in Grand Magus, and just be prepared to be blown away.
Nice. I'll check that out as well. Check that out. That's awesome. I'm sure you guys have gotten this over the years, and I'm sure it floors you guys when you get this or when the fans tell you guys, but what's it mean to you when you receive an email from a fan or prior to the shows or after the shows? They say that Jag Panzer music has pulled them through a bad experience or gave them inspiration to overcome obstacles, or it's just let them get away for a couple hours of the everyday bullcrap that we go through. What's that mean to you personally?
Oh, that is cool. I can't even describe in words what it means. It's great. I mean, it just to have your music touch someone or inspire someone or help someone, that's amazing. I mean, that's what music is meant to do, at least in my view. So, yeah, it's just great. I mean, I could have the worst gig, and sometimes I do. I'll just zone out on the songs, or I'm not hearing well or something. But if one person comes up with a comment like that, it just completely turns my attitude around.
I want to jump right in and ask that question. When you do screw up on stage, do you, are you like, man, I hope nobody heard that, or yeah, nobody heard that, I'm just keep on going? What goes through your mind when that happens, if anything?
I screw up a lot on stage. I make more mistakes than any of my band members. I think they'd like to get down on me, but I do more work than any of them. So I think they can't really yell at me. But yeah, I make more mistakes than the rest of the guys do. I've learned to cover them up pretty well. Kind of do a pick slide, or maybe I'll throw my guitar in the air, and people think, "Oh, he wasn't making mistakes; he was just getting ready to throw it."
Or they just look at you.
I make tons of mistakes live. I mean, it's really embarrassing.
Or they just look at you and go, "Good job, man. Good job." You're like, "No, I screwed up."
But man, if another guy makes a mistake, I got this death stare that I'll throw at any of them.
That's awesome. Oh, that's really cool. Folks, this new album by Jag Panzer comes out September 29th on Steamhammer and SPV Records. So get out, pick this up, give these guys a chance. They have some really, really great music. And it's a shame that these guys need to be covered more. I said it here on BODS Mayhem Hour. These guys, Jag Panzer, needs to be covered more. Show some respect.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, show some respect to these old school guys that paved the way for you youngins, as I should say. So, Mark, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, this new album, tour dates? How can they do that, my friend?
Well, we got a pretty active Jag Panzer official page, and it's actually manned almost always by a band member. So, you want to get a hold of me directly, that's the place to go. I mean, other ways, we have an official website, and there's an email address that will eventually get back to me. There's a Twitter account that will go through about 5 layers to get back to me. But yeah, the best way to reach the band is probably Facebook. I got band members always on there. I'm looking at cat photos or something. I don't know. They're always on there. So I just put them to work and make them man the Jag Panzer page.
Before I let you go, Mark, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Sure. Hi, this is Mark Briody from Jag Panzer, and you're listening to the heaviest metal on BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. I ask all my brothers and sisters out there, please keep the families that are in Texas and in Florida in your thoughts and prayers. Give them good vibes. Like I said previously, you can replace materialistic stuff, but you cannot replace lives. And these folks have just went through hell with these hurricanes. So, Mark, thank you.
That's very true. I mean, I was evacuated because the Colorado wildfires were in my neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
And, and that sucks. Just everything about it, just being evacuated, not knowing if your house is there, not knowing, I had 2 friends lose their houses, and just, the whole thing is just, it's undescribably bad. So, absolutely keep those people in your thoughts.
Yeah, my uncle lives in Florida, and he actually evacuated 2 or 3 days prior to it hitting. He's handicapped, and he had no choice. I just about broke down crying because I didn't know if he's all right. You know what I mean? It just ripped me apart because I didn't know what to do. We were just like, what the hell? Should we just go or stay or what? We just in limbo. Well, I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, that's good he got out that soon. Yeah, we were evacuated by force, by police. I mean, I thought, there's huge fires there, but I thought, well, we can always get out until the cops are banging at our doors.
Yeah.
And, look, there's 1 block up the street. There's a huge fire rage, and you got to get out now. I mean, this minute.
Yeah. When that happens, when they're banging on your door and telling you got to go now, that's when shit gets real.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Guys, stick around. Like I said, we got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Thank you, Mark, so much, my friend.
Okay, thank you.